news at the moment. There's today is an important day for tech tax in Europe. So
What's happening?
so basically the big tech giants have
The fangs.
yeah, they've been benefiting from different tax rates across Europe, and there's always been incentives for them to go to different countries, and they've been, because of that, they've only paid tax in the countries where they're not paying tax in the countries where they're generating the sales.
They're paying
So
tax in the US.
yeah, so they've been finding all these loopholes for many years, but today all the G7 European countries got together over the past week in London. Not sure how they've done that because of the travel restrictions, but anyway, they gathered in London to come up with a combined effort, because historically it's always been individual countries,
Yeah.
discussing these things with the tech giants. What happened over the last week as well is the US decided, if we're going to keep pushing. So if the UK is going to keep pushing these tech giants to pay the taxes that they're not due, because this has been going on for years, it's now huge amounts of backlog taxes, and the US government wheeled in and said, well, if you're going to keep pushing them, we're going to just up our taxes on all UK products. And so it's getting to that sort of bumper heads. It's getting under control anyway. So they put that on hold this week, pending the decision today, which is the G7 finance ministers are all coming up with a proposal for the tech giants on where they can operate, how they're going to pay taxes. And this will be a groundbreaking sort of benchmark for the future, and how it's going to change behaviors quite a bit. And it might actually, when we start thinking G20 and G50 countries, if this is already in place and agreed with the big powers, it might change. There's going to be winners and losers here.
Yeah.
The UK is going to lose out, because at the moment they're suggesting a higher tax rate. Ireland is going to perhaps lose future business because everywhere's got the same corporate tax rates, whereas they were benefiting before because their tax rates were lower than what has been proposed now. So if they might get isolated if they don't get on board. All these kind of things are happening, and it's all coming to a head today. So I'm intrigued to see where this goes, because it does affect my business as well.
That's really interesting. That's like really interesting development. I'm aware of the fact that like individual European countries have undertaken the efforts in the past to implement digital tax, or at least discuss it with the previous U.S. administration, to which the previous U.S. administration blankly said that they will implement tax import duties that will make the French government cry so hard that they will roll back those digital taxes the next day. And the previous administration I'm talking about is the Trump administration.
The same Trump that's had his Facebook account suspended for another 2 years.
But it's interesting how business works, It's like, because while he was firmly in power, nobody was suspending his Facebook account or his Twitter account, But now the situation changed. So with the new administration, the European countries, as long as they can present a united front on a digital tax, I think it could work. But I think like a lot of thought needs to be put into it, like in terms of how you're going to regulate and tax the digital space. And I don't think we're there at the moment.
I don't either, but I think this is a key start.
Yeah, you need to start somewhere.
Yeah, but it could benefit. It could benefit SA, depending on the fiber connectivity links. It could benefit countries that haven't seen the benefits of housing and hosting these big tech giants before, and it could impact those who have, seen GDP growth on the back of the tech giants now lose some of that. So it's a leveling exercise at the moment.
I sincerely doubt it's going to benefit SA, but I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But
the tech giants are in SA already, right? And
so you got Amazon.
Is it they're just servicing the SA market, or they're looking to do the whole of the sub-Saharan area?
I think they're looking to do the whole sub-Saharan Africa and servicing not US, SA market, right? But I think I think the
Where's it cheaper to store data? It's not in the
China.
first world countries.
China.
Well, this is the other thing that's coming into play.
China.
Because a lot of the cost they have is not the processing power and where the transactions happen, which, you know, there's regulations around that. But a lot of what we have on these tech apps are related to storage.
Yeah.
So it's about where can they store the stuff cheaply if they can still recall it quickly.
But do you think
Eastern
the UK...
Europe is going to boom on the back of this? I can see it.
Nah, I sincerely doubt it. And I think the reason why the Eastern European nations won't boom on the part of that is because the internal politics going on there and possible backhand dealing is just so complicated that it's just, I don't think anybody in the same line. I think Scandinavian countries will boom on that. Cheap power, right?
Yeah.
Not so cheap skills, but at least the skills are there to actually run these data centers.
Well, all the
yeah.
skills will move, right? The skills are
Yeah.
mobile. We have a lot of, if I look across our estates, we're actually seeing an influx of English-speaking people from English-speaking countries moving to these countries for that exact purpose.
Yeah,
Because they're looking for non-local language. They're looking for standardized English language, business transaction support, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't think the European nations would be comfortable in hosting their major data centers in China. Like from just
there's the GDPR thing, the data protection.
Yeah, it's like
so big.
Yeah.
But what control do we have about where this data is stored? Because all we can really try and do is trace where we actually engage with that application. You know, which country is that? Where they choose to store the server, which is down the road, if they put it in private IP space, they can put it anywhere. We'll never know.
But I think just think about it logically, right? Just from the perspective of an idea being palatable to the public, right? I don't think public is going to be very pleased if they know like their data is stored in China, right? I don't think public will care if they say, oh no, your data is stored in Norway or Iceland.
Yeah, we encrypt it and we actually spread it. So it's broken down and half the data stored there and half there. So nobody actually gets it until we pull it together in the country of origin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have a story. I'm intrigued by all this.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
going to be cool.
suggesting that they are deviants and they would think of such things, but yeah, there's opportunities for further technologies to be brought into play here.
For sure.
The cost of storing data in the current core internet cities where the hubs are is high. It's very high.
Insane.